guys think if I went into Taco Bell and asked them to just give me the big Cheez-It with nothing on it, they'd do it?
Yeah,
of course they would. Of course they would.
Yeah, I literally was like, hey, can I have the... when I went to Taco Bell for the Giant Cheez-it, I was like, can I have whatever, the Gordita Cheez-it Crunch, but with nothing on it? He's like, you can order just the big Cheez-it for $1. And I was like, thank you, sir. I would like just the big Cheez-it, please.
Wait, hold on. They're giving away... They're actually just giving away the big Cheez-it for $1?
It's $1, yeah. At least
that's highway robbery.
For me, I robbed Taco Bell. Taco Bell was like, I know you want to live out your little field mouse dreams, or more accurately, my partner does.
And by highway robbery, I mean like for the Cheez-it factory.
Yeah,
that's a good.
They have to sacrifice so many smaller Cheez-its to make the bigger Cheez-it.
That's a good deal for a big Cheez-it.
Yeah, I've heard it called a cheese them.
Cheez-it, exactly.
Cheez-it,
but man, big Cheez-it was a great idea.
Why are we talking about big Cheez-Its? It's because we're fucking sick freaks who love Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But it's also because it's an episode about Giants today.
Yeah. Welcome to Scrub Mode, the podcast that sits at the intersection of gaming and monsters. My name's Julio.
And Taco Bell.
And Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Sponsor
Taco Bell. I will.
If we could get just like a free Cheez-It every entry, I think it would be cool.
I mean, I'd love that. Are you kidding me?
That'd be dope.
You know how happy my partner would be if a single big Cheez-It showed up every day?
Oh.
That would be cool.
Every week?
Cheez-It to last the day.
Yeah.
Or at least half of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Ryan.
Yeah, we should introduce ourselves, huh? I'm John. And that's producer, editor Julio over there.
Yeah.
Friends.
He already introduced himself. He was way ahead of the curve.
It's true.
Today's a Monster Manual episode, right, John?
Oh, yeah, man, but awesome. We're not going to linger there long because, man, there's a lot of... Hey, would you guys have guessed that Big Dude is a pretty common monster type across...
Pretty common, right?
Yeah.
Giant.
I mean, I believe it.
Giants.
I feel like I feel like that's maybe the first monster anybody comes up with, right? Is like,
yeah,
it's not just.
What if there was a me, but like huge?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should we start with like
all big? Yeah. Like that cute Beal skin. I'm gonna be Kanye the Giant. All big.
You guys have any strong giant feelings?
I like
giants.
Giants. They're pretty cool.
In D&D or elsewhere, there's a lot of fucking giants.
Fairy tales, I think my mom had when I was a little boy, when I was a tiny little child, my mom,
when he was a lad,
bought a VHS tape of Jack and the Beanstalk. And like I don't know what studio it was that drew this, but it was there was 3 stories on it. There was the King's New Clothes and Jack and the Beanstalk, and I remember the giant in the Jack and the Beanstalk was blue. I think it was, I don't know if it was Chinese or Japanese, the studio that drew this. But I'm going to try and find it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Blue.
But I remember Jack and the Beanstalk was one of the first fairy tales I ever heard.
We're obviously going to touch on Jack and the Beanstalk later. Because I think that, at least here in Western America, in the West, like that is probably the first giant story you think of. If not, our boy Paul Bunyan making big pancakes.
Yeah.
True. I don't even know what would technically be the first exposure to giants for me. It would be.
I think I'm Disney cartoon, right? If not a story, it's got to be like the Disney Jack and the Beanstalk.
I don't really know.
Was there a Disney Jack and the Beanstalk?
There was, with like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy. I'm pretty sure.
I
think. I don't know. For me, I think it might have been the Iron Giant.
Whoa, that's a little late, but that's a great. That's thinking outside the bell.
That's a good one, man.
I'm thinking. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I'm
trying to find this animated.
I might have seen something earlier that I just don't remember. But yeah, I think that's one of the earliest that I can recall.
Point. I think we've made our point. Giants. Everyone knows Giant. Andre, Iron. There's lots of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
that's a good point.
D&D is no exception, right? We got Giants have been
99?
here since the White Box in 1974.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So they've been
you know
like
what?
first edition.
You're right.
Oh, yeah.
The Iron Giant is late. Maybe
It's close
it
to
was.
our hearts.
Yeah, at least close to our hearts. That would be my first one, but probably might be the Princess Bride.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. I mean, you said it on Andre the
We
Giant.
love Andre. We love Andre. We
He's a
love
good
his
guy.
threats to squish Hulk Hogan's skull because
Hell yeah!
Hulk Hogan's anti-union.
I love the behind the scenes story where he lets out like a minute long fart.
Wait, you might have. I don't know that one. You might have to tell that.
You don't know that one? So
No.
he was on the Princess Bride's on the set. They were waiting to do the next scene, and they're all sitting around waiting. And then Andre the Giant just lets go like the loudest, like minute and a half long fart on set, and like everyone loses it. They crack up super hard. They crack up super hard, but then also that it smelled terrible.
I'm sure.
And I think that's probably to blame for like the fact that he can down like 2 cases of beer without feeling anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, God, can you imagine?
The man's like gastrointestinal system.
That reminds me,
went wild.
I don't know what film this would have been, but my dad said that he on something he was working with, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the star, and Arnold Schwarzenegger just like laid the deadliest fart you can imagine once in his trailer.
Oh no!
And then he called, it must have been a PA or something in. Hopefully it was something higher up on the food chain and he wasn't punching down hard. But he was like, hey, there's something, can you check out my trailer? There's something weird going on in there. And so the fucking PA or whatever walks into the fart room and then fucking starts gagging. And Arnold uses his strongman strength to hold the door shut so he can't fucking...
What? That's a good prank.
I don't know if that story's true. I know he used to be the governor of California. I'm not trying to infringe in inflame our great state.
I think that makes him cooler.
Yeah, I think that's a great... Assuming everyone was cool with it, I think that's a great prank. I think that's a nil harm done.
Oh man, fart cloud. Oh man,
I have no idea how to transition from farts to D&G Giants. You'd think one of them would have a fart attack, given.
Maybe.
Like a Wario-ass fart attack.
That'd be fun.
I mean, yeah, either it's explosive or it pushes you feet away.
Yeah.
6 feet away.
So let's see. Okay, we got first up. There's lots of like giant type monsters in D&D, but there's only like 5 or so true giants.
Yeah.
All right,
like actual giants.
Yeah. First one we got is the Hill Giant, and this is like maybe your Jack and the Beanstalk Giant. This is your big dumb giant. It's the smallest of the giants. It's the stupidest of the giants. Smallest of the giants is a bad sentence.
Is it a bad sentence? I think he gets it across pretty good.
What I mean? It's like an oxymoron.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It's the least giant of giants.
Yeah. It's the least tallest of the giants. And like by scale, that's probably like huge for us. Like a 14 stall Toy stall.
Well, not quite that big. I think they're still just a large creature. But
okay. So it's like a 2-story tall creature.
Yeah. Like I think they might all just be large, but I should fact check that. D&D. I'm going to jump to Storm Giant. Yeah, that's the biggest one.
The Storm Giant. Ooh.
The Storm Giant goes up to huge, so maybe I'm fucking whack. Anyway,
who knows?
Preview.
Yeah.
These dudes, these hill giants, they'll eat anything, including mud and people.
Oh.
So it's really hard to kill them. And they're just like they're a good early boss monster. They're just a big sack of HP. But if somebody gets cheeky, they can crush them with a boulder. I love that all the giants have the boulder throw ability for some reason.
It's just,
it does more damage than a melee attack. It's like what an ignoble way to for like a hero to die.
Yeah, get crushed by rock.
Just get the fastball special. Get gone.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Andre the Giant did that in Princess Bride. He also threw rocks.
Yeah.
He also threw rocks.
That's how you know he's a giant, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I love the line that he said afterwards. He's like, "I could have aimed for your head."
It's a good movie, man.
It's
Hey,
a good
hot
movie.
take? I know no one else in the history of time has said this. Princess Bride, pretty good movie.
I'm gonna say it. Not bad of a movie.
Columbo's in it. He's the narrator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Falk.
Yeah.
He's the grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is. I forgot about him in that movie. Well, great.
He plays such a nice grandpa.
He is. I love him. You've really Columbo pilled me, I gotta say. But it's a story for a different podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you know, this is your, like, generic fairy tale giant, right? We see him a lot in Western Europe stories, sort of like Jack and the Beanstalk. They'll fucking eat people, make bread out of their bones. They're big, they're stupid, you can trick them. If you've heard a giant story, this is probably what you're picturing.
Yeah. Goliaths aren't technically giants, right?
So they're giants, they're the giant subclass creature, but they're not, like, the true giants like these five are.
I see.
They're not large. They're considered, like, big.
Yeah.
I see.
They're a fun class, though. If you want to play, like, that sort of, like, mountainy barbarian type of guy. Like,
yeah.
A lot of good stat bonuses, lots of cool lore behind. Why don't you talk? I didn't prepare anything about the Goliaths. You want to talk about them for a hot sec?
I think we talked about them before. Forget what episode.
I mean, they still fall under G, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Not in the Monster Manual, unfortunately.
Because they're playable characters, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Not to, like, harp on 5th edition, but, like, that's one thing I miss about 4th edition is they'd be like, okay, we know Dwarf is a playable, you know, character, but we also, here are 3 to 5 different dwarves of different difficulty levels that you can fight as a monster. Should you need, you know.
What's the highest difficulty dwarf?
I'd have to go get my 4th edition books out, man. It's been a long time.
No problem.
I think the highest difficulty dwarf is the one in your party.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. You, the royal, the generic.
Yeah, the royal you.
Yeah.
Is there a royal you? Or is it just a royal we?
The royal we.
I think,
gotta check that out.
Is that
anyway,
because royal
giant.
people only refer to themselves in, like, the plural?
Because it's that divine right of king shit, right? Where when a king says we, he means not just me, but me as God's chosen person who speaks for and chooses the fate of all of, you know, X kingdom. Yeah, monarchy's great, huh?
I'm so
One
glad.
dude with a fucked up jaw can ruin everything on a whim.
Away with all those guys. How many kings
I'm
are
glad
left?
we decided to move away.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Anyway, giants.
Giants.
We'd
already talked about Jack the Giant Beanstalk. There are a million giant stories that come close to these guys. Why don't we just move along to some, like, more interesting giants?
Sure.
What do you say?
Yeah. Hit us
How
up.
about a stone giant?
Okay.
Is that like an elemental character?
No, it's just another giant. They'll get more elemental as we go with, like, the cloud, fire, ice, all those guys getting more and more elemental. But these guys are, like, I guess they're elemental. They don't have any elemental attacks. The closest they get is they can catch and throw stones. I'm never sure. When will that ever fucking come up in your D&D game? Like, when are your players aiming a catapult at these dudes who live inside mountains? Like, when are they ever going to be able to catch a fucking rock?
I mean...
in giant-on-giant warfare? I don't know. It's one of those abilities where I'm like, I love it in theory. I don't know how often it'll actually come up.
You befriend a giant, and then an enemy giant throws rocks at him.
I guess that's it, because these guys are actually, like, the other giants were like, neutral, but hungry, like, chaotic stupid. Stone giants are, I think, some type of neutral. I didn't write it down. Let me just fact-check my ass real quick. Yeah, they're neutral. So, like, yeah, you could. These guys could be chill. They could be a chill hang.
They could.
They're just like, we don't really feel any way either here or there, but I guess we can help you.
Yep. Rules is red, and they're just, like, a straight upgrade to the hill giant. Nothing too interesting there. But, like,
is it because of the stone skin?
I guess they don't even really have they do have a stone skin ability, but it isn't, like, armor. But it's like they can camouflage real well.
Oh.
But that does there is some really interesting stone giants in Native American lore. Have you guys ever heard of any of these guys?
No.
I'm
Stone
so happy you
giants.
mentioned Stone Skin. I'm going to jump to that guy first.
Okay.
So where is he?
There is like a story of some of the Native Americans talking about like they actually fought giants.
Oh
right?
yeah, I'm about to share with you a ton of those. I was actually surprised at how many rock or stone giants come from Native
The
American
Native
stories.
Americans have fought? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd save these guys for last, but from the Seneca people of New York and Eastern Canada, we have and my dear Native American listeners, I try to listen to stuff. I'm very unfamiliar with these language groups. I'm probably gonna fuck it up. I'm really, really sorry. But the Ginosqua, which literally means stone giants, all right?
All right.
So, a bunch of other giants we're going to cover, and unlike the D&D giants, which are just kind of quiet guys, these are cannibals. And you said stone skin, Ryan, and what these guys fucking do is they cover themselves in tree saps, they're all sticky, and they roll around in gravel and rocks until they're plated head to toe, all except for their faces, in impenetrable armor. And then they go into Seneca towns and fucking smash people and eat them. Isn't that a cool idea? What a cool monster.
That's so...
I mean, not obviously the killing of the Seneca people. That sucks. But the visual of a giant with stone skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Just the idea of like a really large humanoid being just covered in various sizes of stones.
Yeah.
And then just approaching.
I mean, what a great jump scare for like a fucking movie or something like that.
Yeah, for real.
The boulder you're standing on fucking rolls slightly and it's moving. A fucking dude who's gonna tear you apart, Attack on Titan style.
Yeah.
It's a dude that's covered in sap and stone.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought up Attack on Titan.
What? Actually, I haven't seen a lot of it. I'm purely bringing it up because my friend Caleb loves it. I know people fight giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Attack on Titan for me, I don't know. I thought it was really cool, and then we learned where the Titans come from.
I don't know what the answer is, but I've heard the same thing where people are like, "Oh yeah, that kind of ruined it. The reveal's not so good."
Everyone was like, "Oh no, the mystery has been unraveled, and the mystery is kind of fucked up."
It's pretty fucked up, yeah.
It's kind of fucked up.
Heard some not so
like
good.
The origin. I mean, like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if spoiler.
Yeah.
I mean, like the series ended like 3 years ago, I think.
Then I think we can say spoiler. Jump ahead 3 minutes or something.
Yeah,
if you want to spoil it.
Spoilers for Attack on Titan.
Hold on. I don't even know if I can remember it right now because
It's okay. We don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, I got a lot of.
We don't have to talk about it, but fucking, it's been a while. Like I mean, I stopped.
Attack on Titan. Like, it's pretty okay anime in my opinion.
I mean, watch like the first 2 seasons where it's like a cool kind of like scary, like horror anime. Where people fight for their lives. And then, like, if you feel like you want to keep going, watch it until the end. But, like, if you don't, like, you don't have to. You don't want to find out, like, the origins of the Titans. That's cool.
Yeah.
Something, spoiler, something, people who are segregated and then forced into turning into horrible creatures.
That sounds not great.
Used as weapons of war.
I see.
Sounds not great. Anyway,
not great.
Speaking of war, we have the Site Ka, which are also mean stone giants, and these are the giants that allegedly fought the Paiute people of Nevada. Mm-hmm. They were also cannibalistic, and they had red hair allegedly. And the fucking cool thing about this one, well, let me tell you the legend first. Here's how they're described in Paiute legend. Does somebody want to take a stab at this? I'm taking this from a book.
Can I? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
someone want to dramatically read this?
Sure, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Okay. They had spears and no arrows, while the northern Paiute had arrows but no spears. They were mean, contemptible, foolish, degraded cannibals. Had red hair which they were excessively fond of decorating with bone ornaments, and yet were so poor that they dressed in robes made of the skin and feathers of the mud hen. Oh wait,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's a great visual image. Again, a very cool
Yeah.
idea.
yeah.
So yeah, the cool thing about these guys is we actually found some evidence for them.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
remember hearing about this on TikTok.
Well, yeah, okay. So like, there's this place called Lovelock Cave, which is a cave in the middle of the Nevada desert.
hmm
And inside, some prospectors, because like Nevada, found a bunch of artifacts from a tribe that was extinct, including like some red-haired people and a woman that was 6'6", which like for the time and place, it's not like a giant, but like she could be in the NBA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
WNBA.
So like maybe there's a kernel of truth to the things, and so like the real there's also the real bummer to this is that the prospectors like turned it into a tourist trap, destroyed like thousands of these perfectly preserved and mummified artifacts, and so like
that's a
we'll
bummer.
never get the full story. But
Oh.
yeah, but what we do have is a bunch of beautiful duck decoys, and coupling that with the fact that Site Ka means tool eaters. Do you guys know what tool is?
Mm-mm.
You've
The
probably
band?
seen it around. It's a marsh plant that grows mostly in California.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, so
Oh.
you guys, what's wrong with this picture? I'll cut in if it takes too long, but like, can you put on your fucking Columbo hats.
So,
Put on your Columbo coats.
Yeah, and you're like
Really
tie
figure
in your
this out.
vest and go big cigar. You put it inside your mouth and say, "Oh, oh."
Oh, no,
it sounds
sir.
like they destroyed a lot of the actual artifacts, right?
Yeah. No. There's saying there's a mystery here. I can jump in if you guys don't want to play a fucking riddle game.
Mm.
All right, so
Nope. got nothing.
caves in the middle of the desert, but Sizeka means they eat plants that were only in swamps. And inside the cave, there were a bunch of duck artifacts, like duck lures. And so,
Yeah.
like, it turns out that 3,000 years ago, this part of Nevada was swampy and flooded.
Oh.
Some.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually not
in
that
the
wild
deep
because
No.
this location is 2 minutes from Humboldt, which is a swampy nature preserve.
Oh.
So, like, 3,000
Makes
years
sense.
ago, it was
Yeah.
wetter in this area.
Right.
Yeah.
And it would have been a fucking like Pyramid Lake is also like 2 hours away. Like there were a bunch of big lakes here, and this cave would have been an island in the middle of a big, shallow, warm lake. Which, like, if you are a dude living 3,000 years ago, that sounds like fucking paradise to me, right?
It
Yeah.
does sound
Big,
like
shallow
pretty
lake,
good.
ducks, fish,
Yeah.
fresh water everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Desert over there. Desert over there. You have a perfect oasis.
You're in like
here.
an oasis, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Huh.
like, makes sense that whoever these people were and the Paiute fought over it. And, like, in the histories of the retellings, the Paiute's like, well, they were cannibals, they were giants, we don't really have any evidence for that, right? But, like, they were at least tall. There was a 6'6" woman there, so they're like, I don't know. There's a grain of truth to the story, which I think is really
Right.
cool.
There's a lot of those like stories in like I think it's Papua New Guinea of like giants living in caves, right?
Yeah, I actually wrote
Yeah.
something about this, but I cut it because I was running out of time. But yeah, like, specifically, you're exactly right, Julio. There's stuff in the Solomon Islands about giants living in caves and giants like moving construction equipment and stuff.
I think that was like during World War II or something where
Yeah,
we
exactly.
actually the West had encounters with these people, and like there's a bunch of stories from like the natives of these islands too.
Yeah,
Of like the giants living and taking them, you know?
yeah. So, like, there's been no evidence to any of those stories, but like they're common and they were a really popular weird war story trope. So, like, I'm cut that, so I'm glad you brought it back up because now we get to talk about it a little bit. But yeah,
it was
exactly right.
There's I forget who, but like there's this one YouTube channel that talks about crazy stuff like this, and they have these beautiful like hand drawn like illustrations of
That's nice.
what could have happened, what it could have looked like, and it's pretty great. Let me see if I can find them.
Yeah, I'll rattle off some more of these stone giants while you're looking for that. So
yeah,
that's it for the Paiutes and the Siteka.
yeah.
So then again in Shoshone myth we have the Zoavatis, which again literally means stone giants, which were a race of giants that were like made out of stone. They were associated with cannibals, and again they fucking ate people.
Oh, it was Wartime Stories is the name of the channel.
Oh yeah. My friend really likes.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird war stories.
Yeah, Wartime Stories, and then there's
Bedtime Stories is their other channel, right?
The Solomon Island Giants is the name of the video exactly.
Yep.
And, like some people think they're the Nephilim, from like the Bible.
Oh yeah, we're gonna fucking. I should have put this earlier. We're gonna dip the Nephilim because they get so like everyone covers them. I don't have a unique take on them, and all discussions of them get so weirdly horny.
Yeah.
People really latch onto that part where they like mated with human women. Like I have heard some weird ass coast to coast interviews where a fucking old man is like literally explaining the mechanics on the radio of how this might have worked. It is fucking disgusting. Anyway,
it's pretty gross. Anyway,
one can only guess why.
Yep. From the Micmac Indians, or sorry, the Micmac Indian. Whoa, shit! I'm so sorry.
Whoa.
The Miwok Indians of NoCal. We have the Lupu Oyes, which are again rock giants that are completely covered in stone, except for like they got the Smaug thing going, where they have like one weak spot on their throats. You have to perfectly hit that with an arrow. But these guys aren't dumb; they know it's their weak spot, so they cover it with armor made out of bones or abalone shells.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but once again, covered in stone, love to eat people. You get the deal.
Yeah.
And then closer to you guys in Clear Lake, California, there are the Pomo. Or the Pomo have stories of the stone people who are, again, man-eating giants. Anyway, it's like really common. It's a really cool story. It shows them a bunch of Native American mythology.
Mm-hmm.
That's my early punch-up, is make the fucking stone giants cannibals. Make them less boring.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Frost giants, you guys know what this thing is. I think they're probably the second most common or popular type of giant, right?
Yeah, especially here in the West, I guess.
Yeah. We all love Thor.
We all love Thor, and Marvel.
Yep. You guys probably know what this is, but just like in D&D, just like in fucking Norse mythology, these are ice giants that live where it's cold. They got Viking theming and stuff like that. They're hardy. They,
Loki's half one, right?
Yeah, in some tellings.
Yeah.
It gets complicated, right? Because there's no canon in Norse mythology, because it was like a bunch of different peoples and countries, and then also they didn't write much down, and what we do have written down is from after the Christians came in and maybe changed the stories to better suit.
Yeah. And then, and Stanley, had his whole thing.
Which makes it even more complicated, but
Heroifies it all. Or was it Jack Kirby? Oh, man.
Well, I mean both, right? That's the eternal struggle.
Yeah.
There's also, Frost Giants don't do anything particularly... Again, they're just, like, a straight upgrade over the Stone Giants in D&D. I say, let them do some of that Marvel shit. Let them cover their weapons in ice or something.
That'd be cool.
I mean, that would be
ice
cool.
lasers from their face or something.
Yeah, hell yeah. Make them a little more interesting than Big Guy.
Yeah.
Just fling them.
Yeah.
Fling them superpowers at me.
Yeah.
And then, very similarly, Fire Giants, right? This is the Surtur shit.
Yeah.
From Norse mythology. Played by the lovely Clancy Brown in Thor Ragnarok for all of the 5 minutes or whatever he's in.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
In D&D, these are for some reason this keeps happening. These guys are craftsmen. They live in volcanoes. We've seen this with dwarves. We've seen this with Azers. You guys know the thing. These guys are evil, unlike our previous giants. They're great craftsmen, and they have a giant-sized greatsword, which just does a shitload of damage if it hits you.
Hell yeah! We love great swords that are great.
What's cooler than a sword? Big sword.
Yeah,
big sword.
I mean, that's the logic. It's sharp thing. But what if sharp thing was Nah.
I say this is a bit mostly for Coolio. I don't know how many other people are out there still playing For Honor, but like, I do love the Warden. I do love
Warden's
just
great.
a good greatsword.
Yeah, he's great.
I mean, like, so that's tough to say because you can't really call.
I mean, it is
because our perceptions.
I feel like Highlander's got a bigger sword.
He does, but
Highlander has a great sword. The Warden, more of a long sword.
He's using traditional greatsword forms because in real life you can't swing a fucking Buster Sword.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like in what do you call
I understand and respect your point of view that there are greater swords than what the Warden's got, but
yeah.
All I'm saying is that like our perceptions of long and great swords have been skewed a bit.
The media is making you and your swords feel inadequate.
Your long sword is definitely long. No doubt about it. But I mean, like all the moves that the Warden pulls are general longsword styles, at least in terms of HEMA.
There's some great sword styles.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. We're getting dangerously close.
This is a different rabbit hole, but let's be honest.
Some medieval historian is going to be like, "Look, he's doing form set anyway."
Yeah.
They'll set you straight.
We got what I think is our first, mechanically interesting cloud giant next, which is the Cloud Giant, which are, hey, these are giants that live above the clouds. What does that sound familiar? Where have you heard that shit before?
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you guys have checked this shit lately. Well, let me be nice before I dunk on him. He's mechanically interesting. This is a giant who's got the rock throws. He's got a melee weapon. He also has keen smell. Again, fee fi fo fum, right? I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason that's in there. And then they also have like fog and light and feather fall and fly and telekinesis, which absolutely has to be the worst way to get. Like you're fighting a giant and he Mewtwo's your ass. He doesn't even deign to slap you.
Wow.
All right. So he's cool. He's got some spells. This is maybe some of the worst art in the. And I don't mean to be mean to anyone. I'll say this is maybe some of my least favorite art in the 5th Ed Monster Manual. Look at this dork. Describe this dork.
Okay, so he is I assume, very large person. There's nothing in scale to kind of compare it. This is a giant, but this giant has somewhat, I'd say, muddy skin. You know, it's kind of like it's pale,
like a gray clay.
Yeah, it's like
He's got blue
earthy
hair.
Tones, blue hair, which
blue
is like
icy hair.
You guys are missing the two parts that really stood out to me. So now I'm
is it the vampire teeth, or is it
just the weird big sharp teeth?
He has goofy vampire teeth, like a Halloween Dracula.
He's wearing a medallion, like a cheap 80s.
Is this
he's giving the dogs away for free?
He's got got the grippers out.
He's fully clothed, but unlike the last two fully clothed giants, he's giving the dogs away for free.
Also, he has a cape.
I'm only just realizing the cape.
I just realized
he has a cape.
Yeah.
Not my favorite art. He's a doofus. Good mechanical monster. No offense to the artist. I'm sure.
This guy definitely looks like a dork.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He also has those spirit beads on his wrist.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Very religious, either that or spiritualist. Maybe just believes in Buddhism.
Yeah. What do they call that? A cod piece in front of his.
No. That's like a.
It's like a tabard or something. I don't know.
A belt. Yeah. He's got like a big belt buckle.
Yeah.
He's
got a drape over his crotch.
Yeah, that's a tabard.
Tabard, is that what they're called?
I think.
Yeah, it's sort of like a tabard, but then it stops being a tabard halfway up. I'm not sure if it's attached to his little skirt or he's wearing a tunic. Anyway, it's no offense.
I mean, I guess we can kind of call it that because it's a little bit tabardish.
Anyway, not my favorite art.
It's like several clothings mixed together.
Yeah. Not my favorite art. an interesting giant to fight at least. All right, and then at the very tip top of the giant scale, we got the storm giants.
I really gotta say this art that you shared of him makes him. I get this voice in my head that's just all like, "Hey, what do you think you're doing? Why you coming to my area?" He looks like a bouncer for a club you didn't want to go to.
It's the pose too, where he's just got his arms folded and he's looking down at you.
Yeah,
like, ugh.
He's got that pose. He's all like, "Can't let you in. You're not on the list."
I got the vibe of like an older brother who's like, "Mom says it's my turn on the Xbox," kind of vibe.
Idea. Oh man. The storm giants are cooler, right? Are they cooler than these guys?
I don't know if you guys are following along in the Monster Manual. I actually really like the storm giant art in the Monster Manual. I think it's really cool.
Oh, okay, that's rad.
He's got a lightning bolt shaped greatsword. He's got my Latin's failing me, but he's got the Centurion helmet with the like flag on top. He's summoning a lightning bolt in his other hand. Like, he looks very cool.
That's pretty dope.
He looks ready to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And he has skin that can be colored as like a nimbus cloud.
Yeah.
Like a
big white Zeus beard that helps sell the lightning bolt theme, you know?
Yeah.
He's got little birds hanging around him, which sells his bigness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the biggest giant and the strongest.
That's cool.
Yeah, so in addition to throwing... He's got a greatsword, which of course getting hit by a giant-sized giant sword does a ton of damage. He's got multi-attack. He has spells, but they're pretty weak. It's just like control weather or water breathing. He himself can breathe water, which is why I think it's like... There's no sea giant here, which is so weird, because like in other fantasy things, ocean giants or like coral giants are so common, but there's none in D&D.
That's funny.
Yeah,
but this guy can breathe water, so I guess he fits, because he can control the ocean.
I'm so sorry.
He can control the weather.
He's cool. I love him.
So he can throw lightning bolts, blah 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 blah. He's the most powerful type of giant. He draws a little bit from the Cyclopses. Go see our Greek special. There's a certain subset of Cyclopses that make Zeus's lightning bolts for him. That kind of seems what they're going for here. But also, like, he reminds me, like, if we're going to talk about giants, we have to talk about kaiju, right?
Yeah.
So, kaiju, yokai, bada bing, bada boom. Have you ever heard of an umibozu?
Umibozu sounds familiar. I think we've talked about that.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, we might have touched on them real quick. They're some of my favorite art, some of my favorite Japanese yokai art. Stuff like this, where they're just a big black humanoid shape with giant eyes.
These guys, right? Yeah.
Oh man, that's fucked up.
Yeah, isn't that scary?
I remember these.
That's really fucked up. Yeah, that's scary.
They're just big shadow monsters.
Yeah. So they are only ever seen from the chest up, so they're so big we don't know what they look like from the waist down.
Oh, shit.
They touch all the way to the bottom of the seafloor.
Yeah, wow. Like Godzilla in that one funny scene in King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They got like big all-seeing eyes.
Yeah, and inky black skin, and it said, they appear suddenly on nights where it's calm, and even though everything's fine, they come, they sink the boats.
Yeah. They just say, haha, and then they crush you.
Yeah, they bubble up from the depths like Showa-era Godzilla. They don't say anything, they don't explain what they're doing. They just sink a ship, sometimes a small storm follows behind them and they sink the ship, and then they disappear. But some of the best yokai art. Oh.
That's really great.
They're so scary.
Yeah.
Definitely not something you want to see in the middle of the night on the boat.
For real.
Yeah.
You hear the water move and you're just like, what's that? And it's night, but, it's like you can't really tell between the darkness of, like, the umibozu and the sky. And then suddenly their eyes open and it's just big old eyeballs staring at you.
So scary.
That'd be so scary.
Let's see what else we got.
One Piece.
Are they in One Piece? I wouldn't be surprised, right? Seems perfect.
I mean, it's all ocean focused, so
they're in One Piece. It looks like.
There you go.
I don't watch the One Piece.
I understand that everybody loves the One Piece.
I want to get into One Piece, but like over 1,000
I'm too scared to
episodes
get
is
into One Piece because I feel like it'd take over my life.
pretty daunting.
It'd become my only personality trait.
I do love
Nah.
the water park in Japan where they have One Piece. They have a fucking graveyard for all the characters that have died in One Piece.
Wow.
So like, I want that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be a fiction writer that achieves this.
Yeah. No, but truly, I would love...
That's huge.
There are characters I love that are dead media, and I think it would be really fun to fucking buy a Slurpee and pour one out for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How about the Ningen? Speaking of other Japanese sea/storm giant, have you heard of them?
Ningen.
You want to take the lane on this one? You want to
I know it's like a strange amphibious-looking creature. It's kind of like a giant, like
I'd say it's like half beluga whale, half giant is the way they're usually depicted.
Yeah, looks fucked up. Whatever it is.
So yeah, the origin of this can be traced back to a story on 2chan, where which was the Japanese version of 4chan before there was 4chan. Where an anonymous poster was like, "Hey, I just got off a whale research vessel in the Antarctic, and we all saw what we thought was a submarine. It was just a big white humanoid creature." And then he spun out this whole conspiracy theory about like the Japanese government is hiding the Ningen from you for reasons. But I feel like they're not so popular anymore, but they used to be really popular in the early days of the internet. Every Google Maps photo, someone would be like, "Oh, is that a Ningen that we can see from space?"
Yeah. I have a feeling we know if these guys existed.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, the ocean is big and mysterious and scary, but...
Yeah, if you're big, it's hard to hide in the ocean, especially if you breathe air, which maybe they do because they're whale-like.
Yeah.
You got to come up every now and then.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know, we talked about this with like beaked whales and fin whales and stuff like that, where it's like, those are really weird, mysterious animals. We only see them when they come up to breach or when we find their dead bodies. But they do come up to breach, and we do find their dead bodies. You know what I mean?
Every once in a while.
They're not totally mysterious, even though they live very, very deep and shit. And way out there.
Yeah. Wow. Beaked whales are weird.
Oh, they're so cool. I love them. I love the one that's got, like... I know whale penis is a great sea monster theory, but like... Beaked whale. Fucked up face? What do I even Google here?
Beaked
whale horns?
I just looked up beaked whale, and there's some great pictures.
Yeah, like look at this. Sorry, Blainville's beaked whale. Look at this shit. Oh,
Blainville gets one again. Come on,
amateur hour over here. Tell me that's not a sea serpent.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Especially that thing's like 30 feet long.
Yeah.
Where's the face?
That is the face. It has horns.
What? That's crazy.
It has a little bumpy, like its molars grow up and out.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a picture of it swimming away from the camera. And again, they're 30 feet long. They're bigger than most boats, you know?
Yeah. That's a scary monster.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Ocean's scary. Love ocean, but it's scary.
Love the ocean.
The ocean is very scary.
Go into the ocean at your own risk.
We kind of got sidetracked, but like, yeah, storm giants, like you mentioned, Julio, they're in Norse mythology too, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I think they're neat.
Loki has a brother named. Norwegian speakers, I'm not any better at Norse than I am at various Native American languages. I'm really sorry. He has a brother named Bylestir, who was the son of Laufey and Farbuti. And Bylestir's name just means storm flasher or violent storm. So, it is often inferred that as the son of two frost giants and as a giant who makes storms, ipso facto, he's a storm giant.
Yeah. You're just huge, bro. You're just going to be huge.
Yeah.
You're going to be huge. That's it.
Then there's Isla, who is explicitly mentioned in the stories that she's a giant. She's Heimdall's mom. So Loki isn't the only half giant rolling around up there.
Oh, I see.
Her name means the stormy one. So again, giant who makes storms. She's not called a storm giant, but that's a storm giant, right?
That's cool.
And then there is Aegir, who is a giant so big and powerful, he's sort of like the embodiment of he's functionally like the god of the sea until the Norse gods take over.
I see.
Wow.
His name's like, you know how gods always have a bunch of names? He's often called Storm Happy or Storm Slinger.
Storm Slinger.
And he's the closest we get in Norse mythology to them outright being called
Storm Giants.
Storm Giants. And then, as you pointed out, Julio, fucking Stan Lee and Jack Kirby just make up some Storm Giants for Thor to fight.
Yeah.
And at least according to one guy on Substack, I couldn't find follow the evidence trail any further. In interviews, Jack Kirby, I guess unsurprisingly, was a big fan, or not Jack Kirby, Gary Gygax was a big fan of Marvel Comics, as I think all three of us are.
Yeah.
So, like, if he was making D&D in the 70s and he was reading those Thor runs in the 70s with the Storm Giants, probably just assumed Storm Giants were part of Norse mythology, like Fire Giants and Ice Giants, and fucking threw them in there for good measure, right?
Yeah.
Totally plausible.
No. Sounds right.
That's the D&D Giants I got for you, but there are so many other fucking cool giant stories if you want to hear them.
Sure.
Lay one on us.
All right. Like I said, we're not gonna talk about the Nephilim real quick. Like I mentioned, it always gets weird and horny. I don't have a cool take for them. I'm also not going to talk about the Native American giants. Like we talked about some actual Native American mythology giants, but there's this weird shit, like evangelical strain where people are like, the Smithsonian is hiding the bones of Native American giants.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It always gets real racist when you dig down into those things, just like the dinosaur cryptids, which breaks my heart. There's always some dude who's like, you're trying to use it as an excuse to, like, you know, do some shitty stuff.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of them come from something awful Photoshop contest from like 2003, but they keep showing up again and again and again.
The one that spawned Slenderman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something awful was maybe, I don't want to get destroyed with them. I don't know. Maybe, I'm just going to say, not something awful in particular. Maybe the internet was a mistake.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
Wait, wasn't, I mean, this is continued further tangent, but, like, wasn't something awful like you had to pay to get into the forum?
I don't know. I didn't spend much time there. I went to the other much worse place, which was, again, not good for me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I remember that there was, like, a lot of online forums, but I think Something Awful itself was, like, they kept their community by making it so that you had to purchase membership in order to be in it.
Sounds plausible.
And like, I was like, okay, weird. I don't know why it's like not free like the other places. So I never really bothered with it, but like, supposedly that was like a way for them to kind of keep the board like from
out or some
being,
shit.
yeah, it would filter out like just nonsense people who didn't want to pay money to get in.
As opposed to the other place where they're like,
where anybody could come in and say the terrible things that they have on their mind.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so I got do you know what a Basque is? Or have you ever heard of the Basque people or the Basque language?
No.
Like
right.
BASK?
BASQUE.
Oh, you see, that was my second guess.
Yeah. So
There's only two ways I could spell it.
These are sort of like the native people, and that's like a loaded term, so I'm trying to be careful, but these are like the oldest people group, family group, language group in Spain and France.
Oh, okay.
So like these are like it's a Celtic language. The Basque language is not related to French or Spanish or any of the other languages in Europe, basically. It's like it predates all the Indo-European languages, so it's like these are people that have been here for a long ass time, is what I'm saying.
Wow.
For a while.
Yeah, you guys know about Spain. They had a fascist dude in charge called Franco for a really long time. And the thing about fascists is, for a bit, they tend not to like minorities. So Franco, like really, really tried hard to suppress the Basque people and their Basque language. and as a result, they did some terrorism. One of which sent his favorite protege almost into orbit. Fucking flung his car over a church. Great story. This is not the place to tell it.
Whoa.
Anyway, the Basque people are cool, is what I'm saying, and
That's very cool.
They have a story of giants that they call the Gentilac.
Gentilac.
Okay.
So these are like, in lots of Europe, there are big places like Stonehenge everywhere, right? And so in Basque mythology, the giants built those places.
Mm-hmm.
The Gentilac did. They could also yeet rocks super far, so there you go. Maybe D&D stole from the Gentilac. They were fucking champion rock eaters.
More stone flings.
They were just really good at shot put.
Yeah, they invented
it. They invented it.
They did invent metallurgy, like making shit out of metal, and meat farming, and allegedly they pity on the humans. They're like, you gotta teach these guys, they don't know shit.
Like, they're not gonna last long if they don't know how to work metal.
And then something like very reminiscent of the troll stories of Norse mythology, which we'll talk about when we one day get to trolls, or like Tolkien's elves, go into the west and diminish. When the Star of Bethlehem showed up in the sky, like when Jesus was born and stuff like that, all the giants are like, oh, the age of giants is over.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's the age of men now. We have to diminish and hide, or we will die.
The age of man is over.
That's right.
No, it has begun.
The age of the orcs has come.
I mean, yeah.
that one meme where it's like the orc with the normal human voice.
Yeah. Oh. They took all his voice filters off. I just saw the extended editions in theaters for the re-release last weekend, and it was a fucking blast. But that's a different story.
Let's show those men, boys.
Oh,
man. Sorry.
That's
all
funny.
good. So in a lot of these stories, all the giants either fling themselves off of the mountains that they live in, so they don't get persecuted, whatever, or they go into the mountains never to return. But one giant, whose name is Olentzero, he's into Jesus.
Okay.
Oh, sick.
So he's the one giant that stays behind, and sort of Paul Bunyan style, he finds work as like a woodcutter and a charcoal maker among the humans.
Wow.
And he is now essentially the Basque version of Santa Claus.
He comes to you in the night and gives you gifts.
Yeah.
Or coal.
Yeah, or charcoal, which you'd actually want, so you can like make delicious food.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the gifts.
Yeah.
I guess the bad thing he would give you would be like crushing your family or something.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He's a gentle giant.
Okay.
He fucking slaps.
Yeah, he loves Jesus.
Gentilisk.
He loves the good parts of Jesus. Like he loves the caring about fellow people parts. He loves that he sees an orphanage full of children who don't have toys, and he's like, I got a bunch of leftover wood. I'm a woodcutter. Why don't I make them a bunch of toys? I'm a giant. It's easy for me to carry and distribute them. This dude. Like, there's a lot of scary Christmas monsters. Yeah, I like this dude.
That's funny. That's cool. Yeah.
Behold, as I craft a small duck for this child.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, they have festivals now in parts of the Basque Country where, like, they dress somebody up as him, or they have a big model of him that they wheel around, and, like, he's a giant, so he's kind of stupid, and he's often pretty drunk because he's a giant, but he just loves everybody. He just wants everybody to have a good time, and, I vibe with that,
That's cool.
We just, we're here to have the Christmas spirit.
That's pretty
And,
dope.
like, Spain being Spain, this was suppressed, especially during Franco times. So they specifically brought it back in 1952 as a way to be like, fuck you, fascism.
Yeah.
And, like, now it's a big thing.
That's dope.
I love a kindly anti-fascist giant.
I wonder
This
how
is
the
back.
I wonder how
Santa
things
giant.
are right now, currently.
How the what are?
I wonder how things in Spain are right now.
I don't know enough. I know that there was we might be dating ourselves, but at the time of recording, the EU just had an election, and like a surprising number of seats went to the far right. So we'll see.
Oh yeah.
What a bummer.
I heard that.
Nothing against Spain. Really cool culture. Really cool art. Really cool architecture.
Yeah.
I heard what was it, like the current president of France? Was it the president? Something. They dissolved the parliament because that happened.
Really?
Yeah. due to all the votes leaning to the far right, they dissolved Parliament and then like called for like either a re-election or something like that. I forgot what it was.
I know Britain might do like their current guys might call for a snap election, as they call it, where they expect him to get like fucking wrecked because Brexit. Yeah, we're not in politics.
Yeah, we're not, but we're affected by them, so we'll talk about them every once in a while.
We do. Just take care of other people.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, right. It says Macron dissolves French Parliament and calls a snap election.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
wow.
That's what he did. France's president just dissolved part of his own government after the far right wins in the European Parliament.
Wow.
Not good.
Not good. Not good.
Oh well. Anyway.
Anyway, back to Giants.
Power to Olin Sarah there.
Yeah.
He seems good. And then in Bulgaria we have the Ypsilon, which these guys are very Tolkien-y, all right? These guys are very D&D coded.
Ooh.
So in Bulgarian myth, God made dwarves first.
Right.
Okay.
But they were too small.
Oh no, I screwed up. I made them tiny.
Yeah.
God was like, these people, they're going to be in my image and it's going to be great. And it's like, I was a bit taller than that.
I could have made them bigger.
You're joking, but that's literally what happens. Where it's like, man, they're fucking too short. Farming's hard. This sucks. I'm just going to wipe most of them out, and I'm going to make giants next.
I got to do this over again.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You gotta just
eventually the Giants, God's like, the Giants are fucking, they're ruining everything. They're too big. They're too hungry.
They're too large.
I'm going to wipe most of them out and make people. And then he's like, all right, I nailed it. They're Giants the charm.
Yeah.
But the
I was like, a little
like
taller than dwarves.
It's like the Goldilocks effect, you know.
Exactly. It is literally
right.
Rule of threes. Am I right?
Yeah.
So
and then
these dudes,
slept.
These dudes are sometimes multi-headed. They're sometimes cyclopses, but they always live in caves and they eat raw meat.
I see.
They,
Did you guys see that Jack the Giant Slayer movie?
No, I know it happened, but I was like, I can't.
Yeah. I was also like cognizant that it occurred, but
I didn't watch it either. I just saw parts of it. My dad was watching it one day, and it caught my periphery. It looked kind of silly.
I mean, the trailers look kind of silly too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
do you think God, when he made those giants, he's all like, should I have given them two heads? And then when he sees them like living in caves, he's just like, come on, guys, I made this beautiful landscape out here. Come on out.
I know the dwarves are getting wrecked by wild animals, but now the giants are eating them all raw, which is not what I had originally envisioned.
The dwarves are too small, and they can't outrun the faster predators. But now these guys are too large and strong, and they're crushing the predators, which is like totally messing up the balance that I thought of. And they keep living in the caves. It's like, bathe in the lake, embrace the sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys fucking hate dwarves. The few remaining dwarves they hate.
Oh.
They also hate dragons, which they both like to live in caves, so they often fight with dragons for caves.
That's funny.
Give me your cave.
Yeah, knock knock.
It's kind of cool that they fight giants. It's like Skyrim shit.
And now, if you guys, it is. I was telling you, it's really fantasy game coded. If you guys can fucking tell me what their weakness is, I will buy you a drink at Tonka Hut.
Oh, okay. What their favorite what is?
What their weakness? How do you do? What's this guy's weakness?
Oh man, can you make a multiple choice?
I won't buy you a drink, but yeah, I can make a multiple choice.
Okay, fine.
No, wait. We gotta win a prize.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Also, like, doing the math, I mean, if I give you multiple choice, it's a 50% chance of one of you will get it right. Oh. Because you're going to eliminate...
I see. Okay, fine. I just want to gamify it a little bit more. I don't know.
All right. Is it A, church bells? Is it B, the blood of Christians? Is it C, iron? Or is it D, blackberries?
I bet it's iron.
Ryan, you got a guess?
I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for church bells.
No, it is fucking blackberries.
Oh man,
I was gonna choose blackberries, but I was like, that's too obvious.
I
Like,
did a bad
that's
job
too
of hiding
obvious.
it. I thought you guys were gonna fucking get it on the spot.
they can't eat the fruit. They can't eat this
Worse.
delicious fruit.
So
What?
you guys don't have
The
blackberry
smell?
bushes where you are. I do have them up here,
That's
and
cool.
they suck.
Oh, they got prickles on them. They got
Yeah,
little-
they're actually it's an ongoing
The bramble?
argument, but they are classified as a semi-carnivorous plant
Oh,
because furred animals get stuck in all their vines and sharp thorns,
Oh,
and they
and
die.
then they feed off the blood.
Yeah, well, they die, and they it's
and
not
they
this-
become the fertilizer for the.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see.
Which is why they're considered semi-carnivorous. Okay.
Yeah. And they're really sharp. They're really fucking mean. I like having to remove them from my garden, and they come back. They're one of those plants where you can cut them all away, and they'll just regrow from their roots.
I see.
And like a blackberry
they're
bush
their
over
kinds. somebody's
somebody's fence can put roots out under your fence, and then pop up another bush. Like
Oh, damn.
they're fucking vicious. So the giants are they're too slow and clumsy to avoid blackberry bushes, and they can't see them for some reason. So they'll either get into them and get tangled and die, or they'll just trip face first and get torn to shreds.
Wow.
Oh,
And
they're just that sharp.
yeah. And these Ypsilanti are so frightened of blackberry bushes that they'll offer them human sacrifices.
Please do not plant them near me.
Yeah. Now I
They
can't see
ruined my
where I'm
hedge
supposed to. I can't see where I'm supposed to sacrifice you, but can you just go into the blackberries?
That's funny.
Could you just walk that way, please?
Yeah.
Wow.
Once
man,
you feel
we're out of
like
time. I
razor
wanna-
sharp glass tears you up,
Yeah.
you know you've got there.
I will next time if you get when you guys visit, I'll find a blackberry bush so I can be like, see how much this sucks.
I see.
Here,
See how much this
put your
hurts?
hand in here.
Get your put your shoe in here. They will be stuck. You'll die out there.
Oh no. No, you can't leave me here. You're gonna have to amputate my foot.
I wanted to talk about Umbaba, but we're out of time. That's the giant Gilgamesh. We'll have to do that some other time.
Oh,
We can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next time.
He's also kind of a tree giant, so maybe I'll save him for Ents.
That's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That works.
You can do that.
Yeah.
You can do that.
You guys got any
Wait, do
giant
we-
punch-ups? You got any giant thoughts?
I
Got
like
any
the
big
giants
ideas?
that are presented in the Dark Souls series.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're pretty sick.
I feel like those giants are very cool.
lay him on
And
me. I
they
don't know shit
change
about them.
every time.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
changed between the 3 games.
They did, didn't they?
Like visually,
Mhm.
or their weakness, or like
Visually. No, visually.
Visually, yeah.
In the first one, they looked like giants. Like you couldn't see their faces because they always wore either helmets or veils. But they were giants, and they could speak, and you had nice conversations with them.
I'm googling this. Sorry.
Yeah, so they were your standard humanoid giants, and you had eventually you run into a blacksmith giant who will help craft your unique weapons, upgrade your unique weapons, and then you can meet one of the legendary hero giants, which is
Excuse me.
God.
Julio's dying.
Oh, yeah, he's dying. Anyway,
Yeah, these
they're
are cool
great.
designs, as is usual for Miyazaki.
they are, and then in Dark Souls 2, they changed their designs in which they don't wear helmets. Their faces are deep, abyss.
Voids, yeah, that's what I'm
holes.
looking like. They kind of look
Yeah.
like ring wraiths in a way.
Yeah, I don't know what's. I forgot if there's any sort of kind of lore to them, but I think something about their faces just slowly sank away.
It's
They're
it's
just-
very interesting.
Yeah, they're very interesting, strange, stranger creatures in 2. Most of them, I think all of them are antagonistic in 2.
Interesting.
And then in 3, they kind of went back to being the giants in 1, but they're also kind of cross between 1 and 2. So
Yeah.
like you'll see like giant trees around, and they'll have like the same like hole in the face type structure.
Okay, that's that Umbaba shit where it's implying some sort of connection between the trees and the giants.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing. In 2, that definitely became a bigger thing where in lore, when a giant dies, their corpses slowly morph into trees. Like they petrify and turn into giant trees. Yeah,
that's dope. That's cool.
It's a very interesting.
I remember like some story where like like there's this horrible eldritch monster, but like that existed in the past, in the deep past, but we don't know what it looked like because turns out or that it even existed because its bones are just rocks. They just look like rocks.
Oh,
and like the mountains are like their corpse, basically. Like they became the earth that we now live on. You know?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
we're living on a dead guy and a big old dead guy.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Oh man,
that's
you,
cool.
John.
Yeah,
thank you so much, John.
You guys got any last minute punch ups, or should we wrap it up?
I think we should wrap it up. I think we're good.
I think we're good. Man, thank you for listening, listener. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Ryan, for being here. Thank you, John, again.
Thank you, John, for being here.
Hey, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for giving me a place, and you listen.
Hey,
thank you, Jesse
giving
Sanders,
me a place
for
where
making the music.
Yeah, Jesse,
you're awesome. And let's see here. Click on our link tree if you see anything you like. Give it a buy if you want.
buy us a coffee.
Buy us a coffee. We'd appreciate it. Yeah. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Take it
Bye.
easy.